Hello, fellow boomers. Today we're delving into a topic that's reshaping our world in ways both seen and unseen. If you ask yourself, why is it that in recent months, several major technology companies such as Alphabet, Microsoft, Oracle, Amazon, and Meta have entered into or have considered to enter into agreements with nuclear energy providers, and you seek an answer, you are in the right place. Well, trying to summarize it in one sentence, it is because our journey into the digital and AI age is facing a monumental challenge in energy consumption. Stay tuned to get the full picture. Let's start by pulling back the curtain on something we all use but rarely see: data centers. These massive facilities are the true workhorses of our digital world. Imagine rows upon rows of powerful computers humming away 24/7, storing and processing the vast amounts of data that power everything from your social media feeds to your online banking. But here's the kicker. These data centers are energy hogs of the highest order. Recent estimates suggest that data centers gobble up between 1% and 2% of global electricity use. That might not sound like much, but consider this. It's comparable to the energy consumption of some small countries. And folks, this is just the beginning. The International Energy Agency projects that the energy demands from data centers could skyrocket by 20% in just the next few years. Why? Two words: artificial intelligence and cloud computing. Now let's talk about artificial intelligence, or AI. It's not just the stuff of science fiction anymore. AI is behind those voice assistants you might use. It's powering advancements in medical diagnoses. And it's even helping to design more efficient solar panels. But here's the rub: training these AI systems requires an enormous amount of computational power. To put it in perspective, training a single large AI model can consume as much electricity as several dozen average American homes use in an entire year. That's right, a whole year's worth of energy just to train one AI model. And we're not just talking about a one-time cost. Every time you use an AI-powered service, whether it's getting personalized recommendations or using a chatbot, you're tapping into systems that are constantly crunching numbers, using energy with every calculation. But here's where it gets tricky. Many tech companies are tight-lipped about their energy use. This lack of transparency makes it challenging to truly assess the environmental impact of these technologies. However, some projections suggest that energy demands from AI could potentially double by 2026. That's a lot of power, folks. Stay with us on this video and find out what the possible solutions are for this huge global energy deficit. Now let's turn our attention to the cloud. Despite its name, the cloud isn't some magical place in the sky. It's a network of those energy-hungry data centers we talked about earlier. As more and more of us store our photos, documents, and even our music in the cloud, we're inadvertently contributing to a massive increase in energy consumption. Cloud storage solutions require vast amounts of electricity to operate and cool their systems. It's not just about keeping your vacation photos safe. It's about maintaining the infrastructure that allows you to access those photos from any device, anywhere in the world, at any time. Here's where we need to sit up and pay attention. All this energy use isn't just a technical problem, it's an environmental crisis in the making. Remember that 2% of global electricity use we mentioned earlier? Well, that translates to about 2% of global greenhouse gas emissions. To put that in context, it's about the same as the emissions from the entire airline industry. But unlike air travel, our digital usage is growing exponentially. If current trends continue, the International Energy Agency anticipates that energy use by data centers could triple by 2030. That's a trajectory that puts us on a collision course with our climate goals. It's not just about electricity either. These data centers need cooling, and that means water, lots of it. Some facilities use millions of gallons of water every year just to keep their systems from overheating. In areas already facing water scarcity, this is becoming a real concern. To give you an idea of the scale we're talking about, in some cases, the water needs of AI-driven data centers could surpass those of entire countries. A single large data center can use millions of gallons of water annually. That's water that could be used for agriculture, drinking, or maintaining ecosystems. Now let's talk about our power grid. Many of you might remember the days of occasional blackouts during heat waves. Well, our aging power infrastructure is struggling to keep up with this digital boom. The risk of blackouts is increasing, especially in areas with high concentrations of data centers. Imagine the chaos if a power outage took down major online services we've all come to rely on. It's not just about losing access to your favorite streaming service. It could mean disruptions to essential services like healthcare systems or financial institutions. The high energy consumption associated with AI and data centers isn't just an environmental issue, it's an economic one too. As the costs of operating these systems rise, smaller companies and startups may struggle to compete with larger corporations that have the resources to absorb these expenses. This dynamic could lead to a concentration of AI capabilities within a few wealthy entities, further entrenching economic inequality. It raises important questions about who controls this technology and how it's utilized. Moreover, there's a risk of unequal access to AI advancements, particularly for individuals and nations with fewer resources. You are invited to share with us in the comments section below any idea or insight you may have regarding the reduction or avoidance of these inequalities. But it's not all doom and gloom, folks. The tech industry is waking up to these challenges and solutions are emerging. Companies like Google and Microsoft are leading the charge, pledging to operate their data centers on renewable energy. These tech giants are investing heavily in solar and wind projects, aiming to reduce their carbon footprints and promote sustainability. Innovative cooling technologies are also being developed. Some companies are experimenting with liquid cooling systems and immersion cooling, allowing data centers to operate more efficiently while using less water. Others are looking at using the heat generated by data centers to warm nearby buildings, turning a problem into a solution. Companies like OpenAI and Vantage are exploring renewable energy sources to power their facilities. By investing in solar, wind, and other sustainable energy options, these organizations aim to reduce their carbon footprint and reliance on fossil fuels. It is not only green energy. If you remember the question about the giant tech companies in the introduction, stay tuned for the answer. Just when we thought we had seen it all in the tech world, here comes a plot twist that would make even the most imaginative sci-fi writers do a double take. We're witnessing a seismic shift in how big tech is approaching its energy needs, and believe it or not, they're going nuclear. Now, I know what you're thinking. Nuclear energy? Isn't that the stuff we were all worried about back in the day? Well, hold on to your hats, because the nuclear energy of today isn't quite what you remember from the 1970s and 80s. Let's start with Amazon, the company that began by selling books online and now seems intent on powering the future. In a move that's as surprising as it is ambitious, Amazon is diving headfirst into the world of nuclear energy. They're investing in the development of 4 small modular reactors, SMRs, in Washington state. These aren't your nuclear reactors known to you from the time the boomers were young. They're smaller, safer, and more flexible. But wait, there's more. Amazon is also pouring a cool $500 million into a company called X Energy, which is developing these next-generation SMRs. And if that wasn't enough, they're also exploring the possibility of developing another SMR near an existing nuclear power station in Virginia. All told, these deals could potentially provide over 5,000 megawatts of power by the end of the next decade. That's enough to power millions of homes, or in Amazon's case, a whole lot of data centers, not to be outdone. Google is also getting in on the nuclear action. They've signed an agreement with a company called Kairos Power to buy nuclear energy from multiple SMRs. The first of these is expected to be up and running by 2030, with more to follow by 2035. All in all, this deal is projected to bring about 500 megawatts of power to the grid. Now, remember when Google's motto was, "Don't be evil"? Well, it seems they've updated it to "Don't be carbon emitting." Microsoft, not content with merely dominating the software world, is making waves in the nuclear sector too. In a move that sounds like it came straight out of a movie script, they're working to restart a reactor at 3 Mile Island in Pennsylvania. Yes, you heard that right. 3 Mile Island, the same place that had that famous accident back in 1979. Talk about a comeback story. Oracle has announced plans to invest in SMRs, though the details are still under wraps. As for Meta, formerly Facebook, they're keeping mum on any nuclear ambitions for now, but in this high-stakes energy game, who knows what tomorrow might bring? Now you might be wondering, who's bankrolling all this? Well, it turns out some familiar names are behind these nuclear ambitions. Bill Gates, the man who brought us Windows, has poured over $1 billion into a startup developing smaller nuclear reactors. Jeff Bezos, through Amazon, is indirectly involved in these nuclear ventures. Sam Altman, the founder of OpenAI, invested in 2021 $375 million in a nuclear fusion startup called Helion Energy. Even Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha himself, is getting in on the action through his utility company. You might be asking yourself, why are these tech companies suddenly so interested in nuclear power? Well, it all comes back to the challenges we discussed earlier. Unlike solar or wind, nuclear power can provide a constant, reliable source of electricity. When you're running massive data centers that need to be online 24/7, that's a big deal. As these companies push to reduce their carbon footprints, nuclear offers a way to generate large amounts of electricity without direct carbon emissions. With the explosive growth of AI and cloud computing, these companies are betting big on nuclear to meet their future energy needs. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Nuclear power, isn't that dangerous? It's a fair question. The nuclear industry has come a long way since the days of 3 Mile Island and Chernobyl. These new small modular reactors are designed with safety as a top priority. But make no mistake, this shift towards nuclear power is not without controversy. It raises important questions about safety, waste management, and the future of our energy infrastructure. As we watch these tech giants venture into the world of nuclear energy, one thing is clear: the landscape of power generation is changing dramatically. The decisions being made today will shape not just the future of technology, but the future of our planet's energy systems. So, the next time you ask Alexa for the weather forecast or use Google to search for a recipe, remember? You might just be tapping into the power of the atom. Welcome to the brave new world of tech-powered nuclear energy. Stay tuned, folks. The energy revolution is just getting started, and it promises to be one wild ride. As we move forward, it's clear that the way we power our digital world needs to change. Here are some key areas to watch. 1. Energy-efficient AI. Researchers are working on making AI systems that can learn and operate using far less energy. This includes developing more efficient algorithms and hardware specifically designed for AI workloads. 2. Sustainable data centers. The push for green data centers is gaining momentum, with designs that maximize natural cooling and use renewable energy. Some are even being located in colder climates to reduce cooling needs. 3. Smart power grids. Upgrading our power infrastructure to handle the demands of the digital age more efficiently is crucial. This includes integrating more renewable energy sources and improving energy distribution. 4. Water conservation. Developing cooling technologies that use less water or recycle it more effectively is becoming a priority. Some data centers are exploring air-based cooling systems or even underwater data centers to reduce water usage. 5. Transparency and accountability. There's a growing call for tech companies to be more open about their energy use, allowing consumers to make informed choices. This could include energy efficiency ratings for data centers, similar to the energy labels we see on appliances. 6. Partnerships and innovation. Collaborations between established companies and innovative startups are becoming increasingly common. These partnerships can lead to cutting-edge technologies that enhance energy efficiency and reduce waste. Now, you might be wondering, what can I do about all this? Well, quite a bit, actually. Be mindful of your digital footprint. Do you really need to store every photo you've ever taken in the cloud? Support companies that prioritize energy efficiency and renewable energy in their operations. Stay informed and engage in discussions about sustainable technology. Your voice matters. Consider the energy implications when adopting new technologies or services. Advocate for policies that promote sustainable practices in the tech industry. The digital revolution has brought us incredible conveniences and connections, but it's clear that we need to be mindful of its energy costs. As we continue to innovate and push the boundaries of technology, let's make sure we're doing it in a way that's sustainable for our planet. Remember, every email you send, every photo you upload, and every AI assistant you query is powered by these massive data centers. By understanding their impact, we can all play a part in shaping a more sustainable digital future. The challenges are significant, but so are the opportunities. By embracing innovative technologies, fostering collaboration, and prioritizing sustainability, we can ensure that the benefits of AI and cloud computing don't come at the expense of our planet's health. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of the hidden energy costs behind our digital world. If you found this information valuable, subscribe to our channel and please share it with your friends and family. The more we know, the better decisions we can make for our digital and environmental future. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed. Your voice matters, so share your thoughts and insight on the comments section below. And let's work together towards a greener, more sustainable digital age. And remember, every small action counts in the grand scheme of our planet's future.